Hello everyone, welcome back, and today we are going to continue on with the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and today we are on day 12. So on day 12 we have this sketch which was created by Kathryn Ronson. I already know that I'm going to be flipping the sketch this way because I have a vertical photo that I want to use, so I'm going to change it up a little bit, but it is originally meant to be this way. So we have a couple of layers here, looks like small layers, so it's just supposed to be a small portion. Obviously, because I have a large picture, mine is going to be a bigger part of the page. So we've got one piece of paper here, one going this way. I'm not really sure what the lines represent, if that's supposed to be two papers or how that is supposed to be, but mine's gonna be one. Then we've got the photo here, and then what looks like stitching or some kind of embellishing here. Same thing along this edge. We've got the title down here on the bottom with some journaling, and then up here on the top we have one little small embellishment cluster. So as I said, mine is going to be flipped like this to accommodate the photo that I chose. So as we look at that, I have a photo of my daughter and our two dogs. This was from 2-3 years ago, but they all pretty much look the same at this point, except she no longer has braces. But I'm going to scrap this photo of my daughter and our dogs. I pulled out this kit from Hip Kit Club. This is the one, I do not remember which month this is from, but it is the kit that's labeled The Good Life. And it has a lot of Hip Kit exclusives and also pairs with Heidi Swap's Sun Chaser. So this sticker book came with this kit as well from Hip Kit Club. So everything I'm using here came from Hip Kit Club, most everything. The papers I chose to use are this pretty little floral. Here, I thought that pulled out the pink in my daughter's sweater pretty nicely, but also the yellowish orange of the leaves on the ground. So I thought that would work well. This one's called Picnic in the Park. It's a Hip Kit Club exclusive. The back has just these cool little lines kind of in the chevron shape. Don't think I'm going to use that, but you never know with me. I'm planning on using the floral. And then I have another sheet here. This is a nice like yellow, yellow on yellow, and just like these little dots all over. This I'm going to use as a mat, I believe, for my photo. So this one is called This Happened. It is still from the Good Life kit. We have this really nice plaid here that's going to bring out a lot of colors in the page. This one is called Time Out, and it is also from the Good Life. Here we have a pretty little floral. This is called Just Relax, also from that same kit. And then this one I'm going to use in my background page. It is actually called Just Breathe, but I'm going to be using this side here, and this is what I'm going to use as the base for my whole picture. So I'm using a lot of printed paper, which I used to shy away from, but I'm getting better at using a lot of printed paper. So as I said, this is going to go as my background. I think this right here I'm going to use as the larger square behind my photo. And then the plaid I want to use as the smaller strip. And then these two I am planning for photo mats right now. So let me go ahead and just get some things cut and get some things. Oh, before I go, I will show you the rest of the goodies. I forgot about these. So we have the die cut shapes from that same kit from Hip Kit Club. This is everything that comes in it. So we got a lot of things to choose from. I also have some of these puffies from Heidi Swap that came in the kit that I will try to use some of those. We have this nice sticker sheet. I've used some, but I still have a ton left. I have the alpha that came with this kit as well from American Crafts stickers. It's called Happy Day. I believe this went along with the Splendid collection as well. I have not used those yet. And then for stitching, if I decide to do stitching instead of something else, I do have these embroidery floss that will work and match up. And I pulled some cute canvas flair from Scrap and Happy Studio. We'll see what I put in there, if anything. So, all right, as I was saying, let me get started. Let me get everything cut and ready to go, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so off camera, I went ahead and I cut all of my layers out, and I even scuffed up the edges. I like the size of this, and I'm kind of wondering about placement because this is so much bigger than it shows in the sketch due to my photo being a 5x7. I'm kind of waffling around. You'll see me here in a minute kind of like test a couple of places of where I could put this, but I do end up, you know, kind of going off the sketch there. You'll see me here. See, I kind of test it in the middle and then off to the side. And I decided I actually really like it off to the side, even though in the sketch it's in the center more so. But I like because it's such a big part of the layout. I like that it's off to one side. There, I'm going ahead and making sure it's kind of straight. There's kind of a grid on the background here, so I was able to follow the grid a bit, but I did want that to be straight as possible. So in the sketch, it does have a little cluster. It's supposed to be on the top of the sketch when it's flipped the correct way, but since I flipped it so that my photo would be vertical and everything would be coming from the top instead of the side, I went ahead and I put a cluster over here on the side, the right side of the page instead of on the top. So she had like banners and fishtail banners and like kind of things like that. I decided, you know, because I put it on the side that I was going to base mine just around a cluster of ephemera. So I did stick this cute little piece of ephemera that came in the kit that says XOXO love this. And then a cute little tag that I mostly end up covering up. It says make it happen, and then it has like some places where you can journal, but I cover most of that up. A couple of hearts and a couple of sprigs of flowers and that cute little camera for now. And then I am playing around with a fishtail banner that says doing what makes us smile. And then a couple of hearts, another fishtail banner that says details. And I am going to use all of those. I'm not going to make you watch me like put them all down with dimensional foam and all that stuff. But I will do that and add some dimension later. At this point, I'm just trying to get everything dry fitted to where I want it. I'm going ahead and I'm going to make my title. I think I do leave this all in. This is kind of my process for making titles when I use alphabet or like puffy alphabets or alphabet stickers is I use this clear block and I'll usually spell out my title onto the clear block so then I can kind of move it around, especially if I'm not sure where I'm going to put the title. So with this one, I wasn't quite positive where I wanted it. The sketch shows it to be underneath that whole all the mats and everything that the pictures are on, but I decided I was going to put them on the mat and on the bottom of the photo. So I won't make you watch me put them all down, but this is the placement of where I am going to keep them. There we go. It is all on there. It's not stuck completely down yet because, you know, I know that I might need to shift some things. So I just kind of stick them a little bit on the bottom. And there I moved that cluster up. I didn't like how low it was, so I decided to move it just kind of up more toward the center of the page. So now everything is stuck down, most everything, but I wanted to show you that on the little orange fishtail banner, I did ink the edges in pink just to make it stand out against that orange background a little bit more because everything was orange. I skipped ahead so much there so you didn't have to watch me glue everything down because you already watched me place it once. You really didn't need to watch me do that. I mean, all I did was I just added some dimensional foam to some pieces just to kind of give some dimension there and some texture, but otherwise everything is placed the same way that it was. And here I decided that I wanted a little something against the edge of the paper because I didn't put the cluster all the way to the edge, and I felt like it did show that in the sketch that everything was all the way to the edge, but I didn't really want those pieces that I had against the edge. So I went ahead and I made myself a little fishtail banner here out of, I think that's the branding strip. Yes, it was the branding strip to one of the pages. And then I just clipped a little bit off from that flower paper that I used as a mat for the photo. And I'm going to make another thicker fishtail banner to go next to the striped one. And I think this really finishes off the look of that cluster. I really like it. I think it was missing a little something, and I think that this gives it exactly what I needed. So, and it also gives us a little bit more length and a little just more bulk to it. And I just think it's really cute the way it turned out. So I'm happy that I decided to add those couple of fishtail banners in the end, because that was not part of the plan. But now it kind of looks a little bit more like the sketch too, because she did have banners in there. Okay, so here I'm going to go with the cute little Scrap and Happy Studio Flair. I decided to go on the paw prints since we've got the two puppies in the picture. And I'm going to use this kind of tealy greenish blue colored paw print that matches really well with the greenish color in the background floral paper and in the plaid. So I decided that would be a good fit. This one I had to play around with a bit because he didn't want to stick. I'm not really sure what was going on. There wasn't dimension underneath him, but he did not want to stick. And then the other paw print I picked was a pink one. And as I played around, I decided that I wanted to replace the O in the title with the little flare instead. And I think it looks super cute. And I'm really glad that that is what I decided to do instead of keeping the title all the puffy stickers, or I'm sorry, the puffy alphabet. All right, so here I'm going to kind of work in a little bit of that element that she had in this sketch that looked either like she put like some ribbon or some stitching or something, some kind of embellishment along the side. Here she has it on the side and on the bottom of the photo, but I'm only going to do it on the side, and I'm going to do a little bit of hand stitching, which I've been doing a little bit more of, and I kind of like it. This one is really, really simple. What you see me doing here is just kind of marking out the spots that I want my needles to go through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up making 3 X's along the sides. So almost just like 3 big stitches there. I've just got my little pencil marks there, and I'm going ahead and I'm getting my thread. I am going to do an X in each color of green, the pinky orange and the yellow, because all 3 of those colors go really well with the paper. But I'm starting here just poking some holes. I mean, generally I use my little poker to do this, but I only had like 8 little holes here, so I just used my needle. It was easy enough to do that way. So if you haven't ever hand stitched anything, the easiest thing to do is to kind of, so that you're not tying knots in the back, is you can just tape it with a little bit of washi. Just tape down the ends, and I think that works out the easiest, just like so. You see how quick that was, just making that little X, and then you just tape down the edges. No fussing with tying a knot in the bottom, nothing. It's just so much easier that way. And I saw someone do it one time. I was like, that is so much easier than trying to tie a knot big enough to not go through the hole. So here I go with the orange. I think I just show you 2 of the stitches and then skip ahead so you don't have to watch me do all of it. It didn't take long. I mean, it was a really quick process, but just to do it one more time, here's the taping down so that my thread doesn't come through. And then just really simply just go through the holes that you already have poked in. Really simple. And then you've got your second X, and there's all 3 of them. I think they look really cute up there. I'm really glad that I decided to do that. I was thinking about doing another set, but I just couldn't really, it just didn't really work with the way I had my embellishment clusters. I thought about going on the other side of the photo, just like the opposite corner, but it was too close to the edge of the paper for me to really be able to do them the way that I did those, and I would have wanted them to match. So that wasn't going to work. And then I thought about doing it on the bottom, but I thought it would look a little too close. clustered up. So I decided just to do the 3, and I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going through the puffy stickers and adding what I can. I did add a little tab up there that says my favorite. This is a little puffy rainbow that I forgot to glue that tab down. That was just part of the ephemera, so it was just a little ephemera piece tab. It's like a blue, it's like white with blue lines, a blue lined pattern on it. I don't even really know what you would call it. And then I put the little puffy rainbow on there and a little puffy heart that says love on it. I thought that was really cute. And I'm just going to add a few more here. Here's another little rainbow. I didn't really say much about the title. The reason I chose that for the title was my daughter looks so proud sitting there with the 2 dogs. I mean, I know they bring her a lot of joy, so that's where the joy came from, but she looks so proud with her arms around those 2 dogs, and so that's why pride and joy came to me. I did not add the journaling down on the bottom like the sketch showed underneath the title. I put it above and on the photo. These are kind of some transparent stickers, and one says, the yellow one says smile, and the pink one says the best companions, which I thought was perfect for this photo. So now I'm just looking at doing some splatters. This layout came together really quickly. A couple of things, the stitching took a minute to do, and kind of trying to figure out the placement of my clusters. That took a minute, but really, I mean, this was a pretty quick layout. And I'm just using some Bahama Mama from shimmers, and I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle all over and just get a little bit, this is like a pinky color. It's more pink than anything, but it does have a little orange hue to it, which I thought would work really well with the colors that were in this paper. So I'm going ahead and I'm just using it around the clusters that I did. So up there by the stitching and the little tabs along the side, and then down. I didn't even do all the way along the title, just around the cluster, which for me is hard for me to stick to one thing. I just want to splatter everything. So I went ahead and I just put the small splatters, and now I decided I wanted a few bigger ones. So I'm just going to touch my paintbrush to it and get just some larger splatters strategically around the page. I didn't really plan it. I just kind of stuck it around there in places that I thought could use a little bit bolder color. And I think that's everything. So here's the slowdown. You can see those clusters up close. I really love that stitching. My shimmers aren't quite dry yet, but when they do, they'll be lighter than that. And you'll see that in the photo. I just think this turned out really, really cute. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and maybe something in here inspired you to try. Maybe the stitching, maybe some splatters if you're not used to doing that. But make sure you click on the hashtag so that you can see what everybody else is creating, not just with this sketch, but all the other sketches. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click subscribe. I would love it if you would be subscribed to my channel so that you could see when I come up with new videos. I hope y'all have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye for now.